after crossing the line. You can see me shaking my head. You can see me disappointed. This is not how I wanted this race to go, and a very bad ending to this memory event, unfortunately. Hello everyone, welcome to race 2 of this memory event, the final race of this session, starting P9 where we finished last race. Now the starting lights are on. We have 4 and 5 red lights. They go green. We go racing. Here we go across the start finish line. We tried to go for the inside, doesn't quite work out. A lot of bumping there, and we're actually almost up to P8 there. We can't quite manage to make it work. Now someone on our right on the straight, making sure we give them enough room, but in front of spin we get held up massively. We stood still for a second there, and that's gonna be us down to P11, and that is very annoying. We get a yellow flag though, and we make sure that we don't lose any more position, but we lost a position to Elisa, we lost a position to Alan, both of my friends that were starting behind me. I hope to be still in front of them, but unfortunately we are behind them now, and we have someone else right in front as we now go green again. Let's try to get quickly past them, as we need to catch at least one of my friends, but we do have kart number 30, and we know kart number 30 from the first video. It's a very bad kart. It has a very low speed, it's very bumpy. It's gonna be a tough race. Let's see what we can recover back down to P11 where we started the first race from. And as I was really happy after the first race, I'm gonna be very disappointed after this one, as you've seen, as this kart is just really bad, just bumpy all around. As you can see here on the straight a little bit, the GoPro smooths it out, but it's definitely a very bad kart, as the kart in front now gets in front of kart number 23, which is Alan. He's my friend. I'm trying to give him a push, but he is not quite as quick as me, so we're gonna try to look for a move, try to make sure that we gain at least one more position, as we want to finish in the standings above Elisa, and that means we need to gain as many positions as we can. A little bit of a different line from Alan. We're gonna do the same thing we did last video to Elisa, go towards the inside, dive towards the inside, and there we go, a good overtake. Even though we have a bad kart, great overtake there on Alan, and now we have only one goal: gain as many positions as we can and try to set a lap time within the 32 seconds, so get below the 33s, which is gonna be quite difficult in this kart. And as you saw last video, I can do 32 lap times while being defensive into the spiral, so a 32 lap time with this kart should probably be possible, but it's gonna be very difficult. Now I'll try not to complain about this kart too much, because 20 minutes of me just complaining about a kart won't make a fun video, and I'll try to do the best I can with this kart, because of course you just get a random kart and you have to make do with what you get. Unfortunately we did get the same kart twice in 3 sessions, so that is a bit unfortunate. Like I said, we're just gonna try anything we can. Looking behind me, they are actually fighting quite a bit. You can see a train there on the right here. They are just battling. Alan is holding them up for me, which is very good. So please Alan, go on. I do think they eventually get past, but Alan was trying his hardest for me to hold me up. He wanted to keep me behind for longer as well, but unfortunately couldn't make that happen, as we now see someone take their first joker lap. We have some joker laps again this session. I believe it's 2 stop and go joker laps like the last race, so we're gonna try to make them at a good time, maybe during the yellow flag. That would be very good, and that would cost us the least amount of time. For now, just losing time hand over fist to the guys in front. A 33.7 last lap and a 33.6 best lap of this session, and that is just very bad. It's half a second at least slower than I normally am, and at this stage I should be approaching or into the 32s, especially because it's the 3rd session we had this night and the 2nd race we had. As I make a mistake there, hit the wall on the outside, you can see me hit the steering wheel in frustration. I can't lose any more time than I already am, as I do think one of the guys, maybe 2 of them, have gotten past Alan unfortunately, so they will now be hunting me down, and they will be quicker than me, because with this kart and with this pace, I said I wouldn't complain too much, didn't say I wouldn't complain. As we go for the first stop and go joker lap, and we're gonna be a little bit cheeky when we exit here. We're gonna wait for the first guy, we're gonna jump in front of the second person. That is actually Alan. He tries to switch back, but because of the rule that you could hold someone up if you're on the racing line, we actually make use of that, and it is okay. We get a signal from a marshal there that it was on the edge. I was a bit risky, but I had to go for it. I have to not lose any time to Alan. Looking behind, I can't see him either. He's probably still there though, just looking the wrong way, but the guy in front of me is going to be gone and we're not gonna be able to catch him. We still need to do one more of these Joker laps as well, so we need to make sure we do it at the right time, as we see Alan there on the left actually taking his, and I think it is his first one, not fully sure of course because I don't have the footage from his race, so we're gonna be relying on my own footage as we do actually close the gap to the guy in front. Maybe we can stick behind him, use his racing lines, but our lap time a 33.7 last lap, still not good, and this was having a very bad effect on my mental health actually during this race. I was just getting frustrated, getting annoyed and contemplating just giving up, even though we could actually make something happen, maybe finish in front of the standings of Elisa, as he's the person right in front of me right now, and if we just stay behind him we actually do finish higher up in the standings because of the last race and our finishing position there. But we need to make sure to stay behind him, make sure there's no one in between. But like I was saying, my mental state was really quite bad and something I definitely want to work on, but it's very difficult during a race when you're just trying to get everything out of the kart. It's not working, even though our last lap here was a 33.2, so a decent lap. It was not good enough, and I know I can go into the 32s, but this kart, and although I set it for my goal, I'll spoil it for you as I'm talking about my mental health, it wasn't working and I wasn't able to get it below a 33.0 lap time, which was really quite bad for me, and I just felt worse and worse during this race. And just something, yeah, like I said, I want to work on it, I want to get better at it, but it's really quite difficult as we now go through the next part of the lap. We see Elisa actually taking his Joker lap, so we're now in front of him. We do have to take one more Joker lap, and I'm quite sure the other people behind me have already done their second one, so that is gonna be a lot of time loss if they catch up to me, so we must make sure to do it at an opportune moment, like I always say. But like I was talking about with my mental health, really quite difficult and really something that I understand can be quite frustrating if you're not getting quicker, and it's okay to be frustrated and be annoyed, but also to remember that it's not always your fault, or in this case my fault. This kart is just really bad and I just should have done everything I can without getting angry, because getting annoyed and angry is actually also making my driving worse, and I'm doing everything I can, and that's the best thing that I can do. Just do everything you can, give everything you can, and then you'll see where you end up, as we have someone now right behind us actually diving towards the inside. I was kind of defending that line, but they just dove down the inside. They're doing a switchback now. They have quite a cool helmet. We tried to hold it into the spiral and actually do manage there to hold that line and not lose that position, but it is gonna cost us a bit of lap time, so we're just gonna go for that second Joker lap, let them go, knowing that it's probably not worth fighting, and actually shake my head and we get out of that Joker lane, or the black flag lane I must say, because I'm just trying everything that I can. Like I've said quite a few times now, we're again behind Elisa, and if we finish like this 11th and 10th, then I will actually be in front in the standings, which would actually be quite decent considering the kart. As so I look behind, we see there is Alan, there's just one person in between. Let's hope that person does not catch us, and if they catch us, that is at the end of the race, we can go defensive, as we now actually do have someone in between me and Elisa, so let's see if they can overtake him. I know this driver is quite quick and we also have some traffic, but they get out of the way, so that is really good and not a problem for us. Unfortunately, my quickest lap is already coming. It's not the next lap, it's going to be the lap after that, so that's already quite early into the race, where normally you kind of get up to speed more and get quicker and quicker throughout the race. It's gonna be the quickest lap, as we did get quite close there to the kart in front. They don't seem to have the best pace, even though they are normally quite a bit quicker than me. Maybe they have a bit of a problem after the Joker lap. They are just adjusting again to the rhythm. It's something that can happen and it is sometimes quite difficult, but they are going to be driving away, and I'm gonna probably have quite a lonely race as we're now starting our best lap of the race. Although this lap is quite decent, a 33.052, we're gonna have a tiny improvement to make it the best lap, and these laps are quite clean, quite well done, although they're just slow. I have to really slow this car down through every corner, because otherwise I have a lot of understeer, or if I try to flick it through I have a lot of oversteer. It's just not good balance, this car, and that means we're quite slow, although these laps, like I said, quite decent. And when we approach the line and go across that line, it's gonna be a 33.037, so that's gonna be our best lap lap as we now lose contact with the kart in front of us, and a 33.0 is on the same pace with Elisa as he is doing that lap time as well. But from now on he is going to dip into the 32s quite a few times, and he's gonna be driving away, but he will be battling that car that is now right behind him. Maybe if that kart overtakes, we have a slight chance if he makes any mistakes, but it doesn't look like it's going to happen. And like I said, probably gonna be quite a lonely race as we now go on to lap 18, and we have passed halfway through this race already. The halfway point of course being lap 17 there, but I missed it on the commentary, so I thought I'd just say it here. Of course trying to still get quicker, but again my mental state just getting worse, and trying everything I can and trying to push this kart beyond what it can do makes me also make more mistakes, go slower, and that is why you should just do everything you can, but try not to get frustrated. If you get frustrated, you just make mistakes, which won't help you drive quicker laps. Maybe if I had not been as frustrated as I got, I might have been just able to get into the 32s. Luckily it's not going to cost me any position, as the guys behind me do not have the pace, it seems, to catch up to me, which is good for me, as we again, like I said, don't have the pace to stick with the top 10 here, and we're gonna probably be finishing in P11. As now going up the hill we actually do see some fighting from Elisa with the kart in front. They do a few switchbacks here, and Elisa told me afterwards he was really proud and he wanted my footage there of it, because it was quite good to see and quite great how he can just stay in front here. It was really well done from Elisa and a really good battle. Unfortunately he doesn't have his own GoPro on today, because normally when he has one he gets it from Reen, as he doesn't have his own. But unfortunately Reen not being here and me only having one GoPro means we couldn't show the footage except what we saw on my GoPro. And of course I'm rooting for my friend, and still yet I shouldn't be rooting for him, because if he loses that position then I can finish in front of him in the final settings. So I kinda need him to lose that battle, but I also kinda want him to not lose that battle, because it's just great to see my friend doing well and great seeing him race great with other drivers. Just a very good battle going in front, and if they keep battling maybe I can join that battle, because I want to be part of it. But unfortunately I'm not going to be part of it, as they still keep going and being just involved in a great race. And that's what you get with these memory events. There's quite a few very experienced drivers, and still if you're just hanging at the back sometimes you can also have some great battles with the people around you, and it's what I really like, and I really want to go sometime, because after this memory event I only went one more time and it's gonna be quite a long time before I'm going back. I'm very curious what the lap time will be when I get back, but we'll see when I get back. And of course I will record it and put it on YouTube, so if you want to see me going back, subscribe to the channel, like the video if you've enjoyed it so far, and stay tuned for everything else that's yet to come, which will of course include the 24 hours of Lelystad and also a DRS endurance race that I did in between. And now back to where we are, TeamSport Utrecht, doing a 33.1 last lap and still trying to find any pace that we can. But like I said, you can see in front that gap is just growing. We just barely can see them anymore. They're just, even though they're battling, just getting away from me, and that pace of them is really good. Here on the top floor you can see them just on the left there, and that just tells you how quick they are even though they're battling, and how bad my pace is going to be after this lap. Luckily only 10 more laps remaining, so the most of this race is already behind me. Still just trying to do what I can, and still mentally struggling here, as it's really difficult to maintain positive vibes if you're doing that badly. Although I do see someone in front that we're catching, but I think that's going to be someone that's going to get some blue flags. Some people here that were not on the pace, they go really wide through the left-hander, so we don't lose any lap time, but it doesn't matter. And going on to this straight, you're actually gonna see the bouncing I'm talking about. Look at the car just bouncing there at the end of the straight. You have to look at the kart, so if you haven't seen that, just rewind a bit, look at it again, that kart is bouncing heavily on the front when we have max speed, and it's doing that on this part of the track as well. So every part that you reach top speed or close to top speed is bouncing on the front. I don't know why that would be. It's really weird, and mentally it's playing with me as well, because I'm trying to get quicker and quicker and quicker, and you can see it here on the straight again. Look at the kart just bouncing really weirdly. I don't know why, but that is costing me time because it just doesn't work, and it just doesn't help the front grip here. It's just really quite difficult, so I don't know how to deal with it. I can't take it away. It's just there on the card, and it happens every time I just reach a little bit close to top speed, and that means that the ability of this car to turn when at a bigger speed also is diminished. So you need to go slower just to get the car to turn a 33.341 my last lap, and as you can see, just no one in front, no one behind, just feeling really bad and having these mental battles with myself, trying to stay optimistic. I want to be an optimistic person, but it doesn't always work out that way, and I try it, but this race it just wasn't happening. Just this card and everything that's going on, it's just very, very bad, and I'm gonna feel bad for the rest of the evening, which I shouldn't have to, but I'm going to, because that is in my personality, and I'm gonna try to work on that, try to not be that hard on myself if I can't help it. There is of course circumstances where I do mess up, so I need to be accountable for that, but this is not in my reach. I couldn't do anything about this because this card just is bad, which is an unfortunate situation. Luckily we only have 6 more laps when we go across the line, and that means we're gonna be celebrating the end of this race and the end of this memory event. Where will we end up in the standings? I don't quite know, because I don't have the final results. I do think I end in front of Elisa by 1 point, but I'm not quite sure because I don't, like I said, have the final standings. But this is going to be it. Some more push laps. Of course, we're not going to be improving anymore. There might actually be some blue flags coming. I see a marshal there holding one of the blue flags, and someone is probably rapidly approaching. It's been quite a while since I've been lapped in one of these races. Looking behind, we can see some coming. It's just way quicker, and probably about half a second to a second every lap. So that gap, of course, after 34 laps is going to be closed, and we're gonna make sure to not hold them up too much when they come, to make sure we get out of the way and then just try to follow them. Maybe we can set a quick lap time. Now coming up, you can see me struggling mentally, going through the right-hander. It just doesn't quite work out. I have a bit of oversteer. You see me lift my hands, just doesn't work. This kart doesn't do what I want, and I'm really in a bad mental state. I'm gonna be letting the guy through quite soon as well, because they will get me to have blue flags for the first time in quite a while, and that just feels even worse, getting lapped after one of these races. It's not going to be this lap, but it is going to be before the end of the race, and that just feels so terrible. Actually, they tried to give me a blue flag there. They were a little bit too late, and I can see behind me that gap is still a little bit too big to get a blue flag or to let them through. We're gonna make sure that when that gap is closed, they can get by without any problems, and there they go. Blue flag is gonna be shown, and into the spiral. We're gonna go out of the way, and we're gonna get them through. Unfortunately, when they go through on the straight downstairs, they actually do their joker lap, so they still hadn't done that. That explains a little bit of how I got lapped, and I'm immediately unlapped. That did cost us a bit of time, unfortunately, but it also means that we're gonna be ending the race at least on the lead lap and not a lap down, which is something I'm quite proud of, because it did look like with this card we did end up a lap down, which we don't, and that's good. I want to maintain that streak, as actually we struggle. Someone lets us through. It was a bit weird. Wasn't for position. They are also blue flagged, but I thought they made a mistake, and we're gonna go back on the racing line, just managing to avoid them, as we're now on the penultimate lap, going through the right left here, hitting the wall there on the outside again. You can see me in a bad mental state, just not making any great moves, and that means that this lap time is not going to be good either, and going across the line at 33.3 5. Not that bad, but definitely not great. And this last lap won't be that great either. It's going to be the end of my struggles, which is what I'm looking for. Just debriefing with my friends and looking how we can get better and better, and the next time just do better, because I want to be doing better when we come back to this track. It's going to be a lot of fun when going back to this track. The next race though is going to be, or the next video is going to be at Bergham. That's going to be a lot of fun. And now we go across the line, go off the gas. Luckily we have managed to finish this race. It was tiring, it was difficult, but thanks for watching. You can see me shaking my head. That's just how I feel and how disappointed I am with this race. Anyway, if you liked the video, leave a like on the video, comment how you deal with these situations where you have to fight with yourself, and subscribe to the channel for more of these races coming up quite soon. Thank you guys for watching. Bye bye.